This is Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. I'm Ayşe, I voice Linda.
I'm Cosmin, in voice Biff.
I'm Deniz, I voice Willy.
I'm Kerim, I voice Happy.
Willie!
It's alright, I came back.
Why? What happened? Did something happen, Willie?
No, nothing happened.
You didn't smash the car, did you?
I said nothing happened. Didn't you hear me?
Don't you feel well?
I'm tired to the death. I couldn't make it. I just couldn't make it, Linda.
Where were you all day? You look terrible.
I got as far as above Yonkers. I stopped for a cup of coffee. Maybe it was the coffee.
What?
I suddenly couldn't drive anymore. The car kept going off on the shoulder. You know?
Oh, maybe it was the steering again. I don't think Angelo knows the stud breaker.
No, it's me. It's me. Suddenly I realize I'm going 60 miles an hour, and I don't remember the last 5 minutes. I can't seem to keep my mind to it.
Maybe it's your glasses. You never went for your new glasses.
No, I see everything. I came back 10 miles an hour. It took me nearly 4 hours from Yonkers.
Well, you'll just have to take a rest. Willie, you can't continue this way.
I just got back from Florida.
But you didn't rest your mind. Your mind is overactive, and the mind is what counts, dear.
I'll start out in the morning. Maybe I'll feel better in the morning. These goddamn arc supports are killing me.
Take an aspirin. Should I get you an aspirin? It'll soothe you.
I was driving along, you understand? And I was fine. I was even observing the scenery. You can imagine me looking at the scenery on the road every week of my life. But it's so beautiful up there. Linda, the trees are so thick and the sun is warm. I opened the windshield and just let the warm air bathe over me. And then, all of a sudden, I'm going off the road. I'm telling you, I absolutely forgot I was driving. If I had gone the other way over the white line, I might have killed somebody. So I went on again. And 5 minutes later, I'm dreaming again. I have such thoughts. I have such strange thoughts.
Willie, dear, talk to them again. There's no reason why you can't work in New York.
They don't need me in New York. I'm the New England man. I'm vital in New England.
But you're 60 years old. They can't expect you to keep traveling every week.
I'll have to send a wire to Portland. I'm supposed to see Brown and Morrison tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock to show the line. God damn it! I could sell them.
Why don't you go down to the place tomorrow and tell Howard you're simply to work in New York? You're too accommodating, dear.
If old man Wegner was alive, I'd be in charge of New York now. That man was a prince. He was a masterful man. But that boy of his, that Howard, he don't appreciate. When I went north for the first time, the Wagner Company didn't know where New England was.
Why don't you tell those things to Howard, dear?
I will. I definitely will. Is there any cheese?
I'll make you a sandwich.
No, go to sleep. I'll take some milk. I'll be up right away. The boys in?
They're sleeping. Happy took Biff on a date tonight.
That's so.
It was so nice to see them shaving together, one behind the other, in the bathroom, and going out together. You notice? The whole house smells of shaving lotion.
Figured out. Work a lifetime to pay off a house. You finally own it, and there's nobody to live in it.
Well, dear, life is a casting off. It's always that way.
No. Some people accomplish something. Did Biff say anything after I went this morning?
You shouldn't have criticized him, Willie, especially after he just got off the train. You mustn't lose your temper with him.
When the hell did I lose my temper? I simply asked him if he was making any money. Is that criticism?
But dear, how could he make any money?
There's such an undercurrent in him. He became a moody man. Did he apologize when I left this morning?
He was crestfallen, Willie. You know how he admires you. I think if he finds himself, then you'll both be happier and not fight anymore.
How can he find himself on a farm? Is that life? A farmhand? In the beginning, when he was young, I thought, well, a young man, it's good for him to tramp around, take a lot of different jobs. But it's more than 10 years now, and he has yet to make $35 a week.
He's finding himself, Willie.
Not finding yourself at the age of 34 is a disgrace.
Shh!
The trouble is, he's lazy, goddammit.
Willie, please.
Biff is a lazy bum.
They're sleeping. Get something to eat. Go on down.
Why did he come home? I would like to know what brought him home.
I don't know. I think he's still lost, Willie. I think he's very lost.
Biff Loman is lost. In the greatest country in the world, a young man with such personal attractiveness gets lost, and such a hard worker. There's one thing about Biff. He's not lazy.
Never.
I'll see him in the morning. I'll have a nice talk with him. I'll get him a job selling. He could be big in no time. My God, remember how they used to follow him around in high school? When he smiled at one of them, their faces lit up. When he walked down the street.
Willie, dear, I got a new kind of American-type cheese today. It's whipped.
Why do you get American when I like Swiss?
I just thought you'd like a change.
I don't want a change. I want Swiss cheese. Why am I always being contradicted?
I thought it would be a surprise.
Why don't you open a window in here, for God's sake?
They're all open, dear.
The way they boxed us in here. Bricks and windows, windows and bricks.
We should have bought the land next door.
The street is lined with cars. There is not a breath of fresh air in the neighborhood. The grass don't grow anymore. You can't raise a carrot in the backyard. They should have had a law against apartment houses. Remember those two beautiful elm trees out there? When I and Biff hung and swing between them.
Yeah, like being million miles from the city.
They should have arrested the builder for cutting those down. They massacred the neighborhood. More and more I think of those days. Linda, this time of year it was lilac and wisteria. And then the peonies would come out. And the daffodils. What fragrance in this room?
Well, after all, people had to move somewhere.
No, there's more people now.
I don't think there's more people. I think...
There is more people. That's what's ruining this country. Population is getting out of control. The Constitution is maddening. Smell the stink from that apartment house. And another one on the other side. How can they whip cheese?
Go down, try it, and be quiet.
You're not worried about me, are you, sweetheart?
What's the matter?
Listen.
You've got too much on the ball to worry about.
You're my foundation, my support, Linda.
Just try to relax, dear. You make mountains out of molehills.
I won't fight with him anymore. If he wants to go back to Texas, let him go.
He'll find his way.
Sure, certain men just don't get started till later in life. Like Thomas Edison, I think, or B.F. Goodrich. One of them was deaf. I'll put the money on Biff.
And Willie, if it's warm Sunday, we'll drive in the country, and we'll open the windshield and take lunch.
No, the windshields don't open on the new cars.
But you opened it today.
Me? I didn't. Now, isn't that peculiar? Isn't that a remarkable?
What, darling?
That is the most remarkable thing.
What, dear?
I was thinking of a Chewy 1928, when I had that red Chewy. That funny? I could have sworn I was driving that Chewy today.
Well, that's nothing. Something must have reminded you.
Remarkable. Just remember those days. The way Biff used to summonize that car. The dealer refused to believe there was 80,000 miles on it. Heh! Close your eyes. I'll be right up.
Jesus, maybe he smashed up the car again.
Be careful on the stairs, dear. The cheese is on the middle shelf.
He's going to get his license taken away if he keeps that up. I'm getting nervous about him, you know, Biff?
His eyes are going.
No, I've driven with him. He sees all right. He just doesn't keep his mind on it. I drove into the city with him last week. He stops at the green light and then turns red and he goes.
Maybe he's colorblind.
Pop? Why? He's got the finest eye for color in the business. You know that.
I'm going to sleep.
You're not still sore on Dad, are you, Biff?
He's alright, I guess.
Yes, sir. 80,000 miles. 82,000.
You smoke? King?
You smoking? Wait, no.
No.
Yes, sir. 80,000 miles. 82,000.
You smoking?
Want one?
I can never sleep when I smell it.
What a summonizing job, eh?
Funny, Biff, you know? Us sleeping in here again. The old beds. All the talk that went across these two beds, huh? Our whole lives.
Yeah, lot of dreams and plans.
About 500 women would like to know what was said in this room.
Remember that Big Betsy something? What the hell was her name? Over on Bushwick Avenue?
With the collie dog.
That's the one. I got you in there, remember?
Yeah, that was my first time, I think. Boy, there was a pig. You taught me everything I know about women. Don't forget that.
I bet you forgot how bashful you used to be, especially with girls.
Oh, I still am, Biff.
Oh, go on.
I just control it, that's all. I think I got less bashful and you got more so. What happened, Biff? Where's the old humor, the old confidence? What's the matter?
Why does Dad mock me all the time?
He's not mocking you,
Everything I say, there's a twist of mockery on his face. I can't get near him.
he just wants you to make good, that's all. I wanted to talk to you about that for a long time, Biff. Something's happening to him. He talks to himself.
I noticed that this morning, but he always mumbled.
But not so noticeable. It got so embarrassing I sent him to Florida. And you know something? Most of the time he's talking to you.
What's he say about me?
I can't make it out.
What's he say about me?
I think the fact that you're not settled, that you're still kind of up in the air.
There's one or two other things depressing him, Happy.
What do you mean?
Never mind. Just don't lay it all to me.
But I think if you got started, I mean, is there any future for you out there?
I'll tell ya, Hap. I don't know what the future is. I don't know what am I supposed to want.
What do you mean?
Well, I spent 6 or 7 years after high school trying to work myself up. Shipping clerk, salesman, business of one kind or another, and it's a miserly manner of existence. To get on that subway on the hot mornings in summer, to devote your whole life to keeping stock or making phone calls, or selling or buying, to suffer 50 weeks of the year for the sake of 2-week vacation when all you really desire is to be outdoors with your shirt off, and always to have to get ahead of the next fella. And still, that's how you build a future.
Well, you really enjoy it on the farm. Are you content out there?
Hap, I've had 20 or 30 different kinds of jobs since I left home before the war, and it always turns out the same. I just realized it lately. In Nebraska, when I herded cattle, and the Dakotas, and Arizona, and now in Texas. It's why I came home now, I guess, because I realize it. This farm I work on, it's spring there now, see? And they've got about 15 new colts. There's nothing more inspiring or beautiful than the sight of a mare and a new colt. And it's cool there now, see? Texas is cool now, and it's spring. And whenever spring comes to when I suddenly get the feeling, my God, I'm not getting anywhere. What the hell am I doing? Playing around horses, $28 a week. I'm 34 years old, I ought to be making my future. That's when I come running home, and now I get here, I don't know what to do with myself. I've always made a point of not wasting my life, and everywhere I come back here, I know that all I've done is to waste my life.
You're a poet, you know that, Biff? You're an idealist.
No, I'm mixed up very bad. Maybe I ought to get married, maybe I ought to get stuck into something, maybe that's my trouble. I'm like a boy. I'm not married, I'm not in business, I'm like a boy. Are you content, Hap? You're a success, aren't you? Are you content?
Hell no.
Why? You're making money, aren't you?
All I can do now is wait for the merchandise manager to die. And suppose I get to be merchandise manager? He's a good friend of mine, and he just built a terrific estate on Long Island. And he lived there about 2 months and sold it. Now he's building another one. He can't enjoy it once it's finished. And I know that's just what I would do. I don't know what the hell I'm working for. Sometimes I sit in my apartment, all alone, and I think of the rent I'm paying. And it's crazy. But then, it's what I always wanted. My own apartment, a car, and plenty of women. And still, god damn it, I'm lonely.
Listen, why don't you come out west with me?
You and I, eh?
Sure, maybe we could buy a ranch. raise cattle, use our muscles. Men built like we are should be working out in the open.
The Loman brothers, eh?
Sure, we'll be known all over the counties.
That's what I dream about, Biff. Sometimes I want to just rip my clothes off in the middle of the store and outbox that goddamn merchandise manager. I mean, I can outbox, outrun, and outlift anybody in that store. And I have to take orders from those common, petty sons of bitches till I can't stand it anymore.
I'm telling you, kid, if you were with me, I'll be happy out there.
See, Biff, everybody around me is so false that I am constantly lowering my ideals.
Baby, together we'll stand up for one another. We'll have someone to trust.
If I were around you...
Hap, the trouble is we weren't brought up to grope for money. I don't know how to do it.
Neither can I.
Then let's go.
The only thing is, what can you make out there?
But look at your friend. Builds an estate and then hasn't the peace of mind to live in it.
Yeah, but when he walks into the store, the way is parked in front of him. That's $52,000 a year coming through the revolving door. And I got more in my pinky finger than he's got in his head.
Yeah, but you just said...
I got to show some of those pompous, self-important executives out there that Hap Loman can make the grade. I want to walk into the store the way he walks in. Then I'll go with you, Biff. We'll be together yet, I swear. But take those two head tonight. Now weren't they gorgeous creatures?
Yeah, most gorgeous I've had in years.
I get that anytime I want, Biff. Whenever I feel disgusted. The only trouble is, it gets like bowling or something. I just keep knocking them over and it doesn't mean anything. You still run around a lot?
Nah, I like to find a girl. Steady, somebody with substance.
That's what I long for.
Go on, you'll never come home.
I would. Somebody with character, with resistance. Like Mom, you know? You're gonna call me a bastard when I tell you this. That girl Charlotte I was with tonight is engaged to be married in 5 weeks.
No kidding.
Sure. The guy's in line for the vice presidency of the store. I don't know what gets into me. Maybe I just have an overdeveloped sense of competition or something. But I went and ruined her. And furthermore, I can't get rid of her. And he's the third executive I've done that to. Isn't that a crummy characteristic? And to top it all, I go to their weddings. Like I'm not supposed to take bribes. Manufacturers offer me $100 bill now, and then to throw an order their way. You know how honest I am. But it's like this girl, see? I hate myself for it. Because I don't want the girl, and still, I take it, and a lot.
Let's go to sleep.
I guess we didn't settle anything, eh?
I just got one idea that I think I'm going to try.
What's that?
Remember Bill Oliver?
Sure, Oliver's very big now. You want to work for him again?
No, but when I quit, he said something to me. He put his arm on my shoulder and he said, Biff, if you ever need anything, come to me.
I remember that. That sounds good.
I think I'll go to see him. If I could get $10,000 or even $7,000 or $8,000, I would buy a beautiful ranch.
I bet he'd back you, because he thought highly of you, Biff. I mean, they all do. You're well liked, Biff. That's why I say to come back here. And we both have the apartment. And I'm telling you, Biff, any babe you want.
No, with a ranch I could do the work I like and still be something. I just wonder through. I wonder if Oliver still thinks I stole that carton of basketballs.
Oh, he probably forgot that long ago. It's almost 10 years. You're too sensitive. Anyway, he didn't really fire you.
Well, I think he was going to. I think that's why I quit. I was never sure whenever he knew or not. I know he thought the world of me too. I was the only one he'd like to lock me up the place.
You gonna wash the engine, Biff?
You hear that?
Doesn't he know Mom can hear that?
Don't get your sweater dirty, Biff.
Isn't that terrible? Don't leave again, will you? You'll find a job there. You got to stick around. I don't know what to do about him. It's getting embarrassing.
What a summonizing job.
Mom's hearing that.
No kidding. Biff, you got a date? Wonderful.
Go on to sleep, but talk to him in the morning, will you?
With her in the house, brother.
I wish you'd have a good talk with him.
That's selfish, stupid.
Shh. Sleep, Biff.
Just want to be careful with those girls. Biff, that's all. Don't make any promises. No promises of any kind. Because a girl, you know, they always believe what you tell them. And you're very strong, young. Biff, you're too young to be talking seriously to girls. Too young entirely. Biff, you want to watch your schooling first. Then, when you're all set, there'll be plenty of girls for a boy like you. That's so. The girls paying for you? Boy, you must really be making a hit. I've been wondering why you polish the car so careful. Huh, don't leave the hubcaps. Boys, get the camoys to the hubcaps. Happy, use the newspaper on the windows. It's the easiest thing. Show him how to do it. Biff, you see Happy? Pad it up. Use it like a pad. That's it. Good work. You're doing it all right. Hap. Biff, first thing we gotta do when we get time is clip that big branch over the house. Afraid it's gonna fall in a storm and hit the roof. Tell you what. We get a rope and sling her around. And then we climb up there with a couple of saws and take her down. Soon as you finish the car. Boys, I want to see ya. I got a surprise for you.